Bible, we can read what John, one of the 12 disciples of Jesus, saw in a vision that God gave him. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, because the first heaven and the first earth had ceased to exist, as had the sea. 2 I also saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down from God from heaven, prepared like a bride, beautifully dressed for her betrothed. 3 I heard a loud voice coming from the throne saying, "Here among human beings is the dwelling place of God. He will camp among them, and they will be his people. God himself will be with them, and will be their God." Revelation 21. 1-3. God himself will live among us, among his people. He will be with you. He will be with me. Many times in this life we struggle with the idea of feeling his presence. Many times it seems that he is not there. However, when we finally live with him in his kingdom, we will never feel that way. We will never feel alone because we will live in his presence forever. 129. For people who think that eternity is going to be boring, I want to tell you that eternity will not be like an eternal worship service where we will sing non-stop. The thing is that the form of worship is still going to change. Listen to what John said about the New Jerusalem. I saw no temple in the city, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are its temple. Revelation 21. 22. We have services like this to help us in our walk with God. It's hard to follow someone you can't see. It is difficult to follow the holy God when we still struggle with sin. Preaching the scriptures helps us focus on him. But there will be a day when we will not have that problem because we will live in his presence forever. Why are we going to be the happiest? 2. Because God will make all things new. We have enjoyed the clean slate that God gave us with the white shirt, that is, when God forgave us. But it has no comparison to what he has planned for that happy day, when we will live in his presence. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, no crying, no regret, no pain, because the first things have ceased to exist. 5 He who sat on the throne said, "I make all things new." Revelation 21, 4-5a. What makes you cry? What are the sadnesses that you have had to suffer in this life? I imagine you have experienced things that have caused you a lot of pain. If you're like me, there are certain things you've tried to forget. Maybe there is something in your life that you need to face but you would rather hide from it. I want you guys to do something. In your newsletters, there are small sheets. Take those sheets and write down the burdens you have carried or are carrying. Suddenly it's something you've hidden your whole life. It may be a sin that you have indulged in, like a pet. It could be the loss of someone important in your life and you have never been able to get over it. Now, I want to give you good news. Remember that the yellow shirt represents true and eternal happiness. God himself will make all things new. This means that this with the blade in hand is going to disappear. God is going to take away all that because the first things will cease